Unova is full of amazing and beautiful Pokemon all over the region, and your starters are no exception. I love all three of them, and Unova is the only region I struggle to pick a starter just because I love all three. I just love them so much. So now imagine if you had the chance to get another second starter. They're not official starters, but we can call them that. They are the elemental monkeys, Pansear, Pansage, and Panpour. Pokemon of the same typing as their starters, all of which could aid you in your journey. But which of these three could be best for a journey in Pokemon Black and White? Which one would be the best for you to catch? Let's find out. To begin with, let's put them all in an even playing field, because they all share the same stats, and so do their evolutions. So if they have the same attacks with the same effects, they will deal the same amount of damage no matter what. Same with defenses and so on. They also learn the same moves, level up wise and TM wise, so the trio gets access to exceptional moves like Shadow Claw, Acrobatics, and Brick Break. Availability wise, it's the same as well. Earliest it can be is in Rushland Grass in the Pinwheel Forest, all with the same probability to show up, and same in a plethora of different places. And evolution wise, in Pokemon Black and White, they all get the chance to evolve at the same time. You can talk to a girl in one of the Castillo City ports, and she can give you the evolutionary stone you need for your monkey, meaning that the three can reach their peak at the same time, anytime you need them. Now let's get to their differences. First, let's talk about their moves. Now, they don't learn very different moves. Usually, they tend to be other moves' counterparts. I don't know if that makes sense. But look at their first specific type move. Incinerate, Vine Whip, and Water Gun. The three are their respective type moves' most basic attack, and all of them doing around 35 damage. Kinda the same, right? But sometimes these moves tend to have a slight advantage over the other. For example, Incinerate burns any berry the opponent is holding, whereas the other two moves don't have a secondary effect. But Incinerate is the weakest of the three, with Water Gun being the strongest. But despite that, Incinerate takes the cake here for having the secondary effect. And examples like these there are so many. Case in point, second round of moves they learn: Water Sport, Yawn, and Leech Seed. With all due respect to Water Sport, I think Leech Seed and Yawn are the ones in the fight. Sorry. So, either a move that chips away health every turn, or a move that can make your opponent fall asleep. Both can come in handy if used right. However, Yawn's ability to always hit and essentially forbidding your opponent to attack you is so much better in my book. So, Pansear takes the edge here. Last round of moves they learned level up wise: Amnesia, Taunt, and Torment. Amnesia raises special attack, Taunt prevents the opponent from using status moves, and Torment forbids the opponent from using the same move twice in a row. Another no-brainer for me. Amnesia wins this round, especially considering these Pokemon have very poor defenses, so being able to get better at taking hits, more than welcome. There's other moves they learn that are depending on their type, like Seed Bomb, Fire Burst, Brine, and more, but I think it's safe to say Pansear takes the win here. Pansear's moveset has just slightly more utilities and allows it to make the monkey's moves more unpredictable and beneficial to you. Point for Pansear. Now, let's get to gym effectiveness, probably the most important criteria for these Pokemon in a journey in Unova. I'm not going to count the first two gym leaders because 1, you can only properly catch one until inside the Pinwheel Forest, and 2, because if you do get the gift monkey from the Dream Yard, it will do wonders for whoever you're facing in the Striton gym, so it's an even playing field for the three of them there. So let's focus on the ones they actually differ. Pansage, poor thing, only really does well against Clay, and that's 2 of his Pokemon. Poor thing. Panpour does well for 3 gym leaders, and Pansear for 4, but with a little asterisk above. Here's the thing. Panpour clears Clay and Bryson's team, thanks to Brick Break and Rock Slide for the latter, and can effectively take care of Berg's Dwebble. Now, Pansear on the other hand can take care of 2 of Berg's, 1 of Clay's, and all of Bryson's. Now, the tiny little asterisk is because out of the 3, it's the only one that can resist all of Alicia's Pokemon effectively. The other 2 are at risk of their movesets, but Pansear is really fine. But to be fair, there's no real use for a Pokemon that only resists attacks normally, and you'd be using another Pokemon anyway. Plus, even if Pansear could take care of one of Clay's Pokemon, it's most likely going to get hit with a ground type move, meaning that Panpour is the best one to use more effectively throughout your gym leader hunt in Pokemon Black and White. Point for Panpour! Elite 4 wise, this is where the monkeys shine. Like, they do extremely well here. Thanks to the TM's Brick Break, Shadow Claw, and Acrobatics, they can super effectively hit every single one of the Pokemon in the Elite Four. Oh, so it's a 3-way tie. No, not really. While they might be good offensively, what about defensively? The Elite Four Pokemon have such varied movesets that can take care of any Pokemon if the occasion shows. So, which Pokemon would be the best defensively? So, Simisage is weak to Chandelure, Bisharp, the Cat, Scrafty, Sigilyph, and Mienshao. 6 Pokemon in total. Simisear is weak to Jellicent, Golurk, Crocodile, Throw, Sock, Conkeldurr, and Mienshao. That's 7 in total. And Simipour is weak to Cofagrigus, Jellicent, Rainiclus, Gothitelle, Sock, and Conkeldurr. Did I butcher some of the names? Yes, a little bit, but also please give me some grace. I had to say all those names all in one take, so please give me the grace. 6 Pokemon in total. So we have a two-way tie. With 6 Pokemon, it could potentially be in peril. So to at least give a point to Pansage, Pansage and Panpour will get a point. Now, it's a close race, but the winner of today's showdown is Panpour. Yay! Poor Pansage never stood a chance. Grass types just don't do that well in Unova. But hey, at least it can be an effective Pokemon in the Elite Four. Pansear will definitely be a Pokemon that can not only take care of your foes, but will definitely trip them up with the unique moves it gets compared to the other monkeys. But Panpour is just the best Pokemon to properly take down gym leaders and Elite Four members, without taking too much damage. And in true YouTuber fashion, I throw the question your way. What's your favorite monkey out of the trio? Pansear, Pansage, or Panpour?